Third Wheel Podcast. Welcome back. It's been a while since we've been in this studio. I'm Caleb.
I'm Shaps.
How do you feel, Shaps? We've been gone so long. It's nothing to do with your job.
I don't know. It's been nice actually.
Oh,
Having a little time to do other things, I guess, like grinding, I guess.
Okay, well, we're back with more Disney failure. Nice. So, not only was Snow White a catastrophic failure. Sorry, guys. Redo. Not only was it a catastrophic failure, I really thought I was going to mess it up again. Okay, did you see it came out a second time? They re-released it in theaters.
No.
Very limited release, right?
What was who was asking for that?
No, literally nobody. Every theater, if you averaged it out, made about $275.
It's just Rachel Ziegler outside, like, I want to see it again.
Yeah.
I want to see it again.
Like the $275 was her. $275 per theater. That's Morbius level bad. I actually think it did worse than Morbius the second time because, Morbius released twice, right?
So not per day, but like its entire rotation.
Entire second run. I think it was just a weekend, though. I don't think it was a full on, but...
Still for Disney?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, the memes were pretty bad. And then...
I can't believe they did that.
Yeah.
Well, I can, but...
But why? Like, what were... Come on, what was the reasoning for that? Like, seriously. Like, the fans, they want this, so, I don't know, failure. The other thing, what was the other flop? Oh, okay, so Thunderbolts. It's been about 3 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks since it came out. We saw it a week late, didn't we?
Did we? Yeah.
I think we did. So it's been about, I guess it's been about a month.
No, wait. Did we see it a week late? Because remember, it was the day that
we saw it the Monday after.
Yes.
Okay, so it's been about 2 weeks then. The movie has barely recouped just its regular production budget back. Mm-hmm. So the marketing thing they tried to do didn't work. Mm-hmm. So it said it opened less than Captain America did.
Yeah. I can see why. People were burnt out on Marvel at that point.
Well, maybe.
I think they were still burned from Captain America because...
I wasn't. Well, okay, I was burned. You were burned, right? Because we went and saw it, but nobody else did. So
yeah, that's true.
So I'm trying to think. I said this in the review, and I think I agree. I really think I agree with myself, obviously, because one, I said it, and two, I think it's right. Had the movie come out right after, say, Spider-Man: No Way Home, I think it would have actually made a ton of money. But what do you think? It was good. Thunderbolts was good.
No,
it was really
of course
good.
It was. I mean, of course it would have. It would have made tremendous, amounts of flow, just like from the momentum alone. Mm-hmm. I really think Cap 4 took whatever momentum Marvel had and just completely stepped on it.
You don't think the Marvels did that?
No, because I don't think that made too much of a flop in the water. It wasn't big enough. Like no one went to go see that.
Yeah,
I could see people convincing their friends to go see Cap 4.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, this is a mainline. Exactly. I'm one of them. This is a mainline, Avengers kind of film, right? So you're going to get more people to go that one, obviously.
Yeah.
But it was just so underwhelming that I think, and enough people made fun of it to where it's like, yeah, we're out. We're actually not going to go see anything Marvel or Disney for probably the rest of the year.
Yeah.
So that's what happened to Snow White. So.
Keyword rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think the other big thing for Thunderbolts that really killed at the box office was most of the characters had to be set up in a show. With the exception of Ghost, she was in Black Widow, but Ghost was in Ant-Man 2.
Yes.
Which didn't have as big of a box office draw anyway.
And that came out so long ago that I think people probably would have not connected the dots anyway.
Then everybody else, let's see. Taskmaster was in Black Widow, which nobody also saw because it came out on Disney Plus because of COVID. So it was just a weird time. It came out at the wrong time, didn't make as much money. So
that's where Red Guardian and New Black Widow came from, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So asterisk. I mean, I think even because I haven't seen the full Falcon Winter Soldier show, nor have I seen Black Widow. I actually want to go rewatch or just watch Black Widow after seeing Thunderbolts. But I feel like, finish my thought real quick. I feel like it, the characters, they didn't have a whole lot that I couldn't just get right off the bat. Okay, this person's this way, this character's that way. It wasn't too distracting to me. I didn't know who these characters were, and they kind of all meet together without knowing who each other are. So I think that actually really helps the film. Reason I want to go see is because, to be honest, I actually really liked some of the characters in this movie, and I kind of want to see where they came from.
Yeah.
So
I'm with
my
you.
reason for it.
Yeah, I say Yelena was really good. I like her better than Scarlett Johansson really fixed it in Endgame, where I was like, dang, I actually care about her now.
Because she had a wild journey. You know, because like, first movie was Iron Man 2, I think. And like she was vastly different than she was in Endgame.
She was just pretty. And that was it.
Exactly.
And then, of course, I don't think she fit the typical girl boss stereotype where she's just good at everything.
Yeah,
and,
no.
You know, so she wasn't annoying like some more recent characters.
But you also don't know where, you can't pinpoint, like, you know where Steve Rogers, like his character development really happened. Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, you really don't know which movie where she started to become like really cool, really strong. It happened early on. I think they realized after Avengers who she really needs to be. And she sort of stayed that way through the entire franchise.
Because like Age of Ultron, they tried to do a romance with her and Hulk, and that just didn't work.
Well, they tried to a few people actually, and it just never clicked.
Yeah, because they kind of teased it in the first Avengers with Hawkeye, or at least they had a history of working together, and then Ultron. They really fleshed out Hawkeye, but they left, again, Black Widow. So, yeah, they did try it with a few people. Yeah. And then they just killed her off. You know, and even she doesn't have a romance in Black Widow.
I never bought their thing with Hulk. I never bought it. Like, it just never felt right. Even like in Endgame, when he's the angriest, you know, that she's dead. It's like, I don't know. Like, I feel like Hawkeye was, but like, I feel like that was his, you know, like, I don't even know what you want to call it. Deep friendship or whatever.
Say in Infinity War, she just goes, "Hey Bruce," and I was like, "There's our nod to Age of Ultron. That's it." Hey Bruce. I mean, I would have said the same thing. It probably would have had more meaning, but you know, that was disappointing. Not well. I don't know. Like you said, I don't know if I ever bought them. I've ever bought a ticket on that ship, but. If they followed through, I probably would have warmed up to it. But
sure, but they never did.
Exactly.
And they had a bunch of films to do it in, but they never wanted to commit to it. I think they liked the idea of all these characters they could ship them with. Yeah. And they didn't want to lock down to one because they didn't know where the writing was going to go. And it turns out it went nowhere. So
right. Well, Age of Ultron has, I was just thinking about this. Age of Ultron had so many plot threads that they thought were going to tie into other stuff, and it really didn't.
I think Hulk going, like, that's the movie where he gets in the ship and Black Widow's like, "Oh, hey, big guy," and he goes away. I don't think they had Thor 3 in mind. Right. It was just like,
exactly.
We don't know. We really don't know.
Because in that movie, Thor learns about the Infinity Stones, and at the end, he flies off to go find more. And then the opening of Thor 3, he's like, "I couldn't find any," and then he just continues on about the movie.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then there was another Black Panther. They introduced Andy Serkis's character, and he loses his arm, but he's sitting on Black Panther. And then they just kill him off. I was like, bro, none of the plot lines they set up in this just did anything. You know, had any traction, followed through on anything.
I've rewatched Age of Ultron a few times to kind of, because I've been.
You did
every once in a while.
You sat through it again.
Every once in a while, I'll do like the majority of the franchise, just because, like, I don't know, it's a fun watch. Actually, watching first Avengers all the way up to Endgame is actually pretty fun. If you do like make a week out of it. And I try to give Ultron more grace. It starts off really strong, and then just like, oh my gosh, Ultron's such a cool villain, right? And then like. It just feels so stretched.
Yeah, you're watching Robert California and just, from just do his
now
thing.
That you say that, so I'm just like, oh, great, exactly. Now I can only see his face.
That's what I'm saying.
It was, it was a cool idea, like seeing like, okay, this is like a dark side of Tony Stark, manifested. Like, what if he was evil? Which we're gonna get that anyway again, in a few months. But yeah, I wanted to give it so much grace, and I don't know why. It just felt so much longer, and like it never went anywhere. Right towards the end, I was so confused by like, what is the villain's plan again? What are we actually doing here?
To drop a big rock.
Every freaking movie after that, Sokovia. Remember Sokovia? Yeah. Like every movie references it. Like it was the biggest event. You know. Not the New York disaster, but the Sokovia event, the Sokovia Accord, It built up a lot of lore for the other films, but in and of itself, it was kind of a sleeper.
Very, very much so. Honestly, though, I know you said it starts off really strong. Personally, I think it kind of starts off with, like, it just feels like more of the same.
Like fan servicey?
No, just like we got the first Avengers, which was such a novelty, new idea, never happened before. and it was great. And then the second one, it starts off, they're just punching soldiers, and then they run, and then they accidentally end up in a line for the shot, you know. And I was like, you know, and it was fine. I was just like, but it just feels like more of the same, you know. It's like it just feels like more of what we got the first time, and the novelty's worn off.
I can respect a movie in the middle of a franchise to start off fast, you know. I think they do it a little too much sometimes. Like the Marvel movies are always have to start off with an action scene now. But back then, I'm just like, okay, get right into the action. You know, like remind us who these characters are. I thought it was cool in that way. But now I also see what you mean. It's like, it's just literally playing right off of the Avengers 1. And actually, a lot of things happened in between those movies. And it's funny. I hate watching Winter Soldier and then Ultron because
it's so good.
The bar is set so freaking high. And they even reference, like at the very end, they're like, all right, like let's go find Hydra, and they take care of them. Like the next scene.
Well, actually, now that you brought that up, it's a good transition to my next thing. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. really built up the guy that was making the twins.
Really?
Like that whole season was building up to that villain. And so I know a couple Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans who we're going into Age of Ultron thinking like, oh man, he's like, they really set him up. At the end of that season, they say, call in the Avengers. So it just ties right into that movie. Yeah. And then they were like, oh, he just died.
Also like he seems really cool, you know, all these previews. But then like I laughed at first, but it's almost like a Boba Fett death joke where he's like, we will never surrender. And then he turns to his buddy, he's like, I'm going to surrender. It's like, that's funny, but it's like, man, what a waste of a cool character.
I agree. And like I said, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. really set him up to be this good character. And then, and then he died too. He didn't just like surrender. They didn't even try to do the low-key scene where he's like behind a glass bar talking to Black Widow.
No, didn't do that.
Nope, just dead. So, but yeah, you know what though? Age of Ultron, I will say it's better than a lot of the other stuff that came out recently. They got some good parts.
Like I think a lot of people really love the scene where they're on Hawkeye's farm or his estate, basically, and it's just them talking to each other and working through their problems. Like, it's kind of a unique situation to see like all these heroes, what they actually deal with emotionally. So that was kind of cool. That was a good fleshing out moment. Yeah. And it was kind of slow when I went to see it, but then after rewatching it, I found a new appreciation for it.
You know what I really appreciate is what they did with Scarlet Witch, because
really,
you know, her being a hero for 3 films and then just being a villain, just being literally a crazy redhead in Doctor Strange 2. I really appreciate that, like, slap in the face to all the characters that defended her. I appreciate that. It's not, now it sounds like I'm being ironic or I'm BSing.
Facetious, yes.
Yeah, but no, I'm being for real. Like, it's like Steve spent so much time trying to defend her and to let her be free, and he was wrong. You know, and it's just like he put a lot into something that didn't pay off. I appreciate that. It almost feels like I won't say it undercuts like the other movies. It just feels like he was just wrong. You know, like how could he have known? At the time she was a kid, and then later on when she wants to hop universes, she wants to do anything to get through it. To do it, she doesn't care who she kills, what she does, who she steps on. I kind of like that.
I love that in hindsight, but I have no doubt they weren't thinking of that.
I agree.
Like when Doctor Strange 2 came out, they were just like, wouldn't it be cool if she was a villain now? I don't think it has any, remembering that movie, I don't think it has any reference to that whole development. Because, it was 3 movies, a long time for her to go like back and forth, and ultimately just to go crazy and stuff. I don't know. I love like we were talking about it, actually, like Steve being wrong for once, you know, because he's always like the moral high ground. But like, no, actually, I like it when a hero can be wrong, you know, when the hero can go too far and be too noble, you know, and doesn't understand that there's a dark side, you know, and sometimes you have to bend the spectrum a little bit. But I just, I don't know, kind of felt like an Anakin turn to me with Scarlet Witch, how she's just like, I don't even remember what her motivation was. That's probably a sign of weakness, honestly, if I don't remember why she was evil.
Oh, I remember why. She wanted to switch dimensions to go have kids. For some reason, our dimension was the only one where she couldn't have kids. Oh. You know? And did you watch WandaVision, though, right? Yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was pretty memorable.
WandaVision was good.
Yeah.
I don't remember why she was evil after WandaVision, because I remember that kind of closing the book on it. Yeah. And it wasn't like hinting that she was, and then she just was in the next film. But like, just like, oh, she's getting her way no matter what. She's generally like tearing heroes apart.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing.
Vicious ways.
She either kills everybody to get to one person, or they just give her the one person, she kills her, and it avoids all the bloodshed. Like literally, honestly, I was getting to a point where I was like, dude, this ain't worth it, bro. Just let her go. Yeah. Let her take America. Nobody likes her anyway.
No, I hate like self-destructive couples like that.
Yeah.
You know, like, or just characters in general where they're just like, oh yeah, well, they have this motivation and that's the reason, you know, they'll do anything. But it's like, I don't know, like life sucks and sometimes you can't get what you want. I get that's the whole point probably that they're teaching her, but she never really learned that lesson.
No. Because, I mean, she's not dead because she is coming back in Doomsday. Oh, but, God, yeah. but I would have loved it if she died. You know, I would have loved that.
It's kind of confusing at the end.
You don't see her body. Right. You just see a puff of red smoke. I was like, she's not dead. But I will say, I don't think they mapped out when they were going to bring her back. Yeah. Obviously, because Doomsday wasn't even planned. It was supposed to be Kang Dynasty. Yeah. So maybe she was going to come back for Kang. But honestly, just their weird history of not knowing where they were going. Oh, yeah. Which only happened like literally after Endgame. They had no like real plan. They had some multiverse stuff planned out. But it was so rudderless and just directionless. That's what I love about Thunderbolts. And somebody pointed this out to me. This isn't my original idea. The end credit scene, which was a little too long, but at least it finally was trying to tease the next movie, which I think the most recent 10 Marvel films has been missing. It's missing the what's coming next. And there were a couple projects they did where they cut out the part that was coming next. So Moon Knight was supposed to reference, it was supposed to have Kang. It was supposed to have a variant of Kang. They cut that out. WandaVision was supposed to tie into Doctor Strange. Yeah. The ads in every episode, the fake ads, were supposed to be a Doctor Strange reference. And at the end, he was supposed to come in and break through the ads.
They cut that out, too.
They cut that out. And so I was like, why do they keep cutting out all this stuff that's supposed to be setting up the next project? And I think that's contributed heavily. I think it's contributed heavily to the lack of, what's the word? Enthusiasm for all these future projects, you know?
Or it could be a lack in faith in their actors. Because, like,
possibly.
how many times has it been them in the butt to set someone up, you know, and only to screw them over later? Because of an actor.
You know, I think that's something that's happening just more recently because there's so many actors that have done some terrible things. You know, Jared Leto, allegedly, I think he was convicted. I think he was convicted of child offense.
Really?
A long time ago. Yeah. Like when he was, not a kid, but like our age. And now he's old and he's still like, Hollywood protects predators. We've been over this, and I get that I'm repeating myself, but no, like only recently have people been taken seriously, sent to the gulag for crimes they've committed.
For 15, 20 years.
Yeah. And I think those people are going to get out, but we talked about that. Yeah. I'm just saying, like Hollywood only recently has been like, oh, we got bit in the butt. But not all of them have been like legit because then you got Johnny Depp who they fired from Pirates. And now it's like, oh, never mind. He's actually innocent. So I don't know. And then people still dispute whether or not what's his name that played Kang actually did anything wrong.
Well, didn't the charges get dropped? I heard that a rumor. Is that true?
I have to double check because I thought he was convicted. Because I thought he was convicted. Then
I just
he hopped
got
on
told
it.
that he got
drops. So but way after the fact, So it was like it was too late. So I don't know. I have to go back and look, but because I heard conflicting stuff. Sure. I heard he was convicted, and maybe they reversed it. I don't know. Yeah. So and I ain't trying to go. And my father-in-law is a lawyer, but I ain't trying to, go to court. So, sure. But anyway, I wish Thunderbolts did better, but they did such a horrible job setting it up. Yeah, horrible. Like I said, half the characters are from shows, the other half are from movies that came out and nobody saw, and they're like, let's take all those people and put them together.
It's literally their marketing campaign, though, so it's kind of smart in a way where it's like, oh, these people you really don't care or don't know. Yep. They all get together and they start kicking butt. Mm-hmm. So in that way, I think it was the best they could have done in that situation. Like, who else are you going to use? Like, no one.
And I think they were trying to lead to Thunderbolts, but like I said, they just did a terrible job of it. Honestly, it was just really bad.
No, the sad thing is, I actually kind of enjoyed this film, and I even told you it's like the last like I haven't enjoyed a Marvel movie in a really long time. So it was like fun, I don't same way I didn't buy Hulk and Black Widow. I don't really buy everyone's friendship together, like why they're actually all working together.
I liked it better than the first Suicide Squad, though. I will say
the original.
Yeah,
No, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah. And I don't know. Half of the characters in the team were already kind of related, and then they kind of had to blackmail the other one to stick around.
Honestly, Ghost is. Everyone says it online. I'm not new to this, but like Ghost was just shoehorned in. Like she doesn't have any connection to everyone.
You know who was really shoehorned in was freaking Taskmaster. I don't know where they were going with that. I think we talked about that the other night.
I think it was just a way, like a literal sacrifice, human sacrifice to appease the fans, but.
But there were like no fans.
When you're the reason this happened, it's kind of like a slap in the face. That's why episode 9 didn't work by writing out all the stuff you didn't like in the other episodes.
Which is funny because every film in that trilogy was dedicated to tearing apart the film before it.
Sometimes this last 6 films before it, but yes.
Yeah. Well, no, I won't say anything. I wouldn't say it hurt the previous 6 films, but
it dang well tried to.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
Really?
Well, let me hear your argument for that then.
We're talking about Star Wars, right?
All right, yeah, we're going back to Star Wars now. Sorry, guys.
So
Thunderbolts flopped.
1, 2, and 3 sets up 4, 5, and 6. Does 4, 5, and 6 set up 7, 8, and 9?
No.
There you go. At the end of episode 6, Empire defeated. Everyone's victorious. Everyone's happy. Luke's going to go build up the Jedi Temple. You even see a little bit of that in The Mandalorian, right?
Oh, yeah.
New Republic, everything. And I think that's why Filoni is trying to bandage that wound a little bit. But then like first episode or first thing we see in episode 7 is like, oh yeah, all the good guys, they're very much dead. Everyone you love, they're old, and they went back to doing the exact same thing before. There's a new empire kind of, and there's a new threat essentially, and just undoes everything that the last films did. And it really felt like I just felt like it was pointless. Like, why would the other films a thing if you're just going to do episode 4 again in episode 7?
I won't say undid.
Well, you're not supposed to think about it.
I will say it literally, as soon as the credits roll in 6, it did hit pause and say, okay, these characters have accomplished nothing for 40 years or 30 years.
Yeah.
Like, accomplished nothing. I will say that.
But I can't find one good place they connect. And that's why they brought Palpatine back, because they realized that. And now it brings it all together. And now he has a new secret empire. A secret empire of a secret empire. It's like...
Well, I'll tell you where it fits best. In the garbage can. That's where it literally belongs.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, how to make kale. You just toss it in the trash.
No, I'm just... Yeah. No. I mean, this is not... That's a different conversation, but absolutely no. They wanted a new generation the same way, Lucas did with the prequels, but at least with the prequels, they were setting up towards something.
I think it summarized modern Hollywood very well.
Yeah.
Just rehash the old stuff.
Soft reboot is the way to go. If you do hard reboot,
at least.
Then people don't, they miss their lore, they miss their actors.
Well, then you get the Ghostbusters with all the women in it. It's just like hard reboot. Same movie.
No
just
one
women.
likes that either, because it's like, that's nothing like the original.
But then you get Ghostbusters Afterlife, where it's like legacy characters. Come on, And so handled way better, way more enjoyed.
Yeah, they wanted to do that. And I think, I don't know, do you think Hollywood's going back to hard reboots, or they're sticking with their soft reboots until they all burn out?
What's the next soft reboot then?
I don't know.
I don't either.
I'm sure there's one on the horizon. Well, Tron. I guess you could say Tron is.
I guess. I haven't seen a single Tron film.
Really?
Not a one.
They're actually really good.
Okay. All of them?
Yeah. I mean, there's only 2. So the original that came out in the 70s maybe?
Let me tell you what sci-fi franchise I had no idea was really freaking good. Blade Runner. Have you seen those?
I saw the first one, yeah.
So good. Director's cut. It's scary, action-packed sci-fi. It's so good. I need to watch the second one. I keep trying to watch. If I get bored and fall asleep for some
I'm waiting for it to come out in theaters, like the original. It's really good.
Think it will?
Oh, yeah. No, that's another thing. They're bringing back a lot of these films.
That I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I want to see Jurassic Park on IMAX, When it did it the first time in 2010, I didn't get to do it.
Sure.
So I'd love them to come back around. I was okay not seeing Revenge of the Sith in theaters again.
You missed out, dude.
I mean, maybe I believe it.
Maybe you're not as big a fan, but I'm telling you,
I am not a fan.
It was magical. Legitimately, it felt like the first time I've ever seen it.
I believe you.
And here's the thing. I know I'm kind of diehard fan, but I'm actually kind of critical when it comes to Star Wars in a lot of ways, and I understand the complaints of the prequels and stuff like that.
But you still like it.
When I walked out, it generally felt like it was a good movie.
You know what though? I will give the prequels, it gave us a lot of stuff to build on. It was a fun enough foundation. Like I said, everything else, I don't think they're good. But he put in so much crap as a foundation that games could build on. The Clone Wars, the Clone War. There's 3 Clone Wars tie-ins.
Yeah.
Like, there's the main one now that we all know, but then there's one that was done by the guy that did Samurai Jack.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, like it gave us a good skeleton with no meat on it, no organs, nothing, but it was a good skeleton for all these other things to come in and just make stuff off of,
It was made with love.
Yeah, no, and you know what? I'll give him that too. They were very different.
Yeah.
He worked, and I believe him. He said I worked very hard to make them all different, and then he was very critical of Force Awakens and said they wanted to make a retro film. I don't like that.
Yeah,
they were all very different, and I know he said it's like poetry. It rhymes. He tried to do he tried to make them have the same spirit.
Sure.
Albeit less effectively, but. No, I know he tried. He didn't try to make a bad film.
Well, that's the thing. It's like my favorite thing about his whole story is that he made the story, love it or hate it, that he wanted to make.
For sure.
And episode 7, the new trilogy, that was aboard with Suits, making what was going to be the best, most popular, most financially rewarding. And, I can't even fault Disney that much. Like, they bought a property and they're going to use it, and then I can't even, I know people are like, George Lucas should have written them. No. No. Disney bought it. They have the right to use it however they want. I think they just focused on the focus groups a little too much.
Right, for sure. I don't know what went on with Last Jedi, though. I don't know why.
Too much.
Would you say they tried to take a risk?
Too much damage? No, the opposite. Too much damage control.
Really?
Yeah, the first half of the film is episode 8 or 9. Sorry,
8.
Oh,
yeah. No, 9. No, yeah.
8 was definitely
9's the worst.
Yeah,
one.
my bad. 8 was definitely you're right, the risk taker.
Was it a risk?
But then they didn't have the gonads to follow up on it. It's just oh man, we're gonna hint about all this cool stuff that could possibly happen. But
I like Last Jedi, and I know I'm one of the few.
Sure.
Do you like Last Jedi?
No.
Okay, fair enough.
There are really cool parts in it. That I like. The cinematography I think is really cool, but overall
I defended it so hard. The 9 came out, and I was like, now they all suck because literally. Every movie after was trying to just get rid of what the previous one did.
9, I can't believe, turned into the one that literally everyone makes fun of most of all. No more prequels making fun of it. No more making fun of the originals. Everyone makes fun of 9 now. Because it was just a big joke. It made everything just a big joke. And it's almost like those two creators of Game of Thrones, how they just wanted to rush to the end so they could make Star Wars. Well, this was them rushing to the end so they could make more Marvel films.
Yeah. There's literally nothing good about Rise of Skywalker. No. Nothing except memes.
But they got little Yoda cameo. My gosh, it's so cute.
Little Yoda?
Yeah, little Yoda cameo.
He wasn't in there.
Yes, he was.
Where? What was he doing?
Remember? Oh no, that was in episode 8. It's just wow, they really had nothing in 9.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, that 9 was worthless. My boy, I am Snoke. And I was like, oh no, here we are. This is what we're doing. Yeah.
Gotta commit.
Have you seen the memes where there's only one? I wish more people followed up on it. But there's the what. I'm Ray. Ray what? Ray Skywalker. There was one where Batman's beating up a dude and they said, who are you? I'm Batman. Batman who? And he looks over and there's the ghosts of Luke and Leia. Batman Skywalker. I wish more memes did that. There's only just one.
But that meme was just perfect by itself, the original. It's just can't really add on too much to that.
I disagree. They're really milking the JD Vance memes.
Really?
There's so many. Have you seen them?
I don't really know where that came from. I guess he has a weird face, or maybe he's done something I'm not keeping up anymore. But
he has a butterball face, and I won't say he's arrogant, but somebody took that meeting where they were talking to President Zelensky, and he was like, have you said please or thank you, or have you said thank you for us helping you out? And so then just from there, it was to say please and thank you, and it's just the memes. Ever since then, it's been. I hope he survives the internet because I really want him to run. Which he's gonna run.
You want that, huh?
Yeah.
No, he
I think he's
definitely
great.
will.
Yeah. But
now it's unfortunately he's carrying all the Trump hate legacy with him.
Yeah.
Which I was kind of hoping for, as weird tangent, but I was kind of hoping for a brand new refresh, but I don't think we're ever gonna get that. No. Just new candidates all across the board, but no, we're just gonna carry all.
He's new. The Trump JD Vance. He's very new.
What I'm saying is he's gonna take all the legacy that Trump is going to leave behind, including all the haters, including all the annoying people who are diehard fans, all the annoying he's going to take with him. But
that's as far as we're going to go into politics. Sorry, guys. Yeah. Also, we should restart the camera. Probably. 3, 2, 1. All right, we're back.
To go back to the Thunderbolts, because a bit of
I was say we can talk about Renaissance now if you want, unless you have something else to add to Thunderbolts.
No.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Thunderbolts flopped. I'm sad. I wanted it to do good. I really did. Disappointed, but They did that to themselves. They should have. That movie should have came out 5 years ago. Like that should have been right after Black Widow, and it would have just been so much better.
I hope the Void shows back up. I think that's a really cool character, and
he's cosmic.
Everyone remembers that scene and how kind of creepy it was. I think they can bring him back in one way or another. But I know they already solved the whole mental health issue crisis thing. But
goodness no, suicide doesn't. Oh, sorry, unaliving yourself never goes away. You know. So
there you go.
All right, we were at the Scarborough Renaissance Festival the other day.
Oh yeah,
and
still recovering.
Yeah, so we had a lot of fun. I'd say.
No, it was probably one of my favorite trips. Actually,
I was gonna say I haven't had that much fun there in a long time. Honestly, it's been like the only reason we stopped was because when we sat down, I got tired because we were nonstop just moving.
It really depends on who you go with.
Yeah, I agree.
To find out.
Because we had a group we originally planned on going with. In fact, I remember this conversation 2 years ago when we were on it. Like we were doing this show in 2023, and I was like, I just got back from it, and I'm just really sleepy. And it was fine, you know, like you enjoy the time there, but like I don't know, with you, our friend Matt that's been on the show, and then our mutual friend Michael, that we all know oddly enough from different situations and different churches. That's kind of weird.
We don't all hang out together. It's kind of funny.
yeah. We all knew Michael separately, which is pretty cool. But so let's see. The first thing that we can talk about is the pretzel guy. I think that's a good story.
Oh wow! So we're getting right into that.
Yeah, let's just go to it. Like we kind of just came out swinging. Like as soon as he's like pretzels, you were just like,
Okay, so
you want to explain why?
All right, to get the context, the backstory, the deep, slimy lore. So a couple years ago when we went to Scarborough. I may have told this on the show before, but it's important. So I was wearing like a shirt from a job I worked. It's not anything that anyone ever know. Okay.
Yeah.
It was very like obscure, just like generic. It had like a picture of a camera on it, and like no weird like letters, just camera. And then me and Michael, my friend, our friend, we're sitting there, and then like pretzel guy shows up to offer us pretzels, soliciting, I say, and he just like looks at me and looks at my shirt and he says, "You're way too young to be wearing that shirt." I'm like, huh? Like, I'm sorry. I don't have $1. And he's like, "You don't even know what that is." I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
I'm like, "Do you know what this is?" And he's like, "Oh, I know what that is." "Do you know what that is?" "You don't know what that is." I'm like, what? And this guy's just like really up in my business. I'm just like, I don't know what the crap's going on. I don't think he was drunk or anything.
What was the shirt?
What was it, my shirt?
Yeah, I mean, you said it was where you used to work. Are you comfortable saying where that was?
No, it wasn't. It was like one job I did.
Yeah.
And basically, because I helped tear down, they gave me a free shirt. It literally was just a picture of a camera, and it said high-end TV. That's all it said. It did. I mean, like it. Now, here's the thing: the contrast is really weird. So it kind of maybe looks like a metal shirt or something.
Okay.
Like you could mistake it maybe from a distance.
Yeah.
But like if you really look at it, then it's clearly
like,
camera.
what does that mean?
And on high-end TV, why would that be it? So he was really on to me about it. And then like this very drunk woman walked up to him and like put her arm around his shoulder, and she was like, "Yeah, get your pretzels, get your pretzels." I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm in hell." I'm like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
I was just freaking out. I was like, "What is going on?" And eventually, like she, I guess, distracted him enough to where he started like, he really did not like her, by the way. He was like, "Who are you? I don't know.
Why are you touching me?"
Like she was like heckling him almost in a real way.
Yeah.
I was like, "This is the worst experience ever." So I was like really a little like weird, like put off about that. I was like, that was weird.
Yeah.
But it reminded me, just like every year I talk about this, but like, anyway, we're all together. We see a new pretzel guy.
Wait, is that how that interaction ended?
Yeah.
The guy just like,
Yeah, he's like
kissing the lady and he's just looking at you.
Well, no, he was like, "Get off me." Like
Yeah.
the lady was my guardian angel, actually. The drunk lady was my guardian angel because she's like, "Yeah, I'll get your pretzels here. Get your pretzels." And he's like, "Leave."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, you don't like it when it happens to you, huh?"
So when he's distracted, you're like, "I'm out of here."
Yeah, basically.
Okay,
I was like, "Dude, that was really weird."
And that was how many years ago?
2 years ago.
Two. Okay.
Pretty sure it's
fairly
2 to
recently.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I go every year, so it's kind of hard to
Fast
tell.
forward.
You fast forward to when we all spot this pretzel guy.
Different guy.
Different guy. And you know the story really well. You weren't there, but I've told you a million times. So you're like, "Let's go mess with this pretzel guy."
Yeah. Yeah.
And from you're the genius behind it. So what happened in your head?
So I was like, you know, you got a thing against pretzel dudes. And I was like, you know, okay, I'll be honest. I didn't know how you would take this joke. It was like, in my head, maybe you tell me I'm wrong. It was 50-50 you'd be mad at me after. But I was like, that's why I kind of ran it by you first. And then when you were like, yeah, let's do it. I was like, bet, let's go. So I was actually trying to be nice, be like, you know, I'm not going to put him in that spot if it's going to piss him off for real. Little did I know I'd actually piss you off for real later. Yeah. But I walk up, I was like, "Hey, pretzel guy, I got a thing for you." And he's like, "What?" I was like, "My buddy here," and I point at you, and I'm like, "He doesn't think you're so tough. He wants to fight you." And you could see it in his face. He was like, you know,
he's like, "Am I getting into a fight right now?"
Yeah, he was like, he didn't know what to do. I actually caught him off guard, so he was like, "Why fight me?" Now. He was bigger than both of us. Yes. And he held the big thing of pretzels. So I'm like,
he had a weapon.
Why is he scared? I was like, bro, you throw one pretzel at me, I'm done. Bro, I'm cooked. What is it? I'm cooked. Yeah. I'm salted. Like, I don't know. Like, it's over.
And then I was like, yeah, bro, I'm salty against your kind of people, pretzel people.
That was his big one-liner, by the way, because he said, like, hey, if you go up to him, I got a one-liner ready. And he was like, I'm salty toward your kind. And you know, the guy suddenly got a bit bold there upon saying that, because you really got him. He's like, oh, this is a real challenge. You know? So he puts his staff. I watched him. He switched it to one-handed, and he was.
Gloves come off and everything. I'm a little scared now. I'm like, oh my god, did I just challenge this pretzel?
And I was like, I don't know where to go with this.
Is he going to defend? Yeah, Caleb's like hiding in the bushes. I'm like, did I declare war on the pretzel people?
Yeah, for real. Yeah, who's going to go? Like 5 other pretzel dudes are about to come out with their banners.
There's always that skinny guy there too. Yeah. I'm like, where is he?
Yeah, for real.
But anyway, he's like, well, why do you want to fight me? And it was almost sad because it almost sounded like I'm actually like messing with this guy too much. Like, I don't know what's too much. I just thought I was trying to have fun.
I think you're taller than him, but it's not like you were. Like, he was kind of buff. You know, like,
no, I'm like,
yeah, you tell he lifts pretzels for a living. You know, he was kind of jacked.
No, we throw down, dude.
Yeah.
I'm going down.
But
anyway, he's got the old man strength. He was like, well, why do you want to fight me? And I was like, listen, man, like 2 years ago, I had some beef, you know, with some pretzels, and I had an altercation, and basically told him the whole story. And he was like, wait, did he look like this? I was like, yeah. He's like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah. He's like, oh, that guy was a dick. He got fired like a year ago. I was like, no way.
No way. Yeah.
I was like, you know this person. He's like, yeah, we all know each other. Like, he got fired. He was like a jerk to everyone. I was like, oh my gosh, you validated. I didn't think it was ever gonna come back
because everybody was telling me like, nah, chaps, it's your fault. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You picked
typically
a fight.
How it goes.
You picked a fight with the pretzel guy. Nice try, buddy. This was on
and
you.
This guy was like, no, man. He put me on his shoulders. He's like, you will never, never feel the pretzel again. You know, we are on your side. I was like, thank you so much, kind sir.
And I felt you really took that to heart because you bought a pretzel.
No, I bought 2. So I was like, I felt so bad because I didn't actually go to buy a pretzel, but he again made me feel so strong. You know, I had to find him again. So we actually spent the last 20 minutes in the park looking for this guy so I could just buy 2 pretzels from him. I thanked him again. But no, that was an amazing moment for me.
And I triggered it by accident. I was really expecting a really lame joke that we're going to walk away ashamed from.
Actually, you caused all the funny parts.
I ain't going to lie. I actually did.
So the memorable scenes. Yeah. We had to lead up. I think the funniest, to me at least, has to be saved for last. There, right after that altercation, was Captain Pool. So
so there was a medieval Deadpool, right? Yeah. And I've seen him before.
Yes.
Now it turns out there were 2 of them, which was weird because there was like the one that I recognized, and then there was like a real skinny one,
which
that
is really
like
funny because I had no idea where there were 2 of them until you pointed it out.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't know.
Great comedic timing.
Yeah. And we just got lucky. So he walked up, we were talking, and
of course singles me out because everyone singles me out.
Yeah. It's the curly hair. Everyone just knows you're Jewish.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
I smell him through my mask.
Yeah.
But now he walks up and he was trying to be quippy. And now look, he has a hard job. It's hard to just walk up to random people, be outgoing, and be funny. I don't think he was that funny, but. No. I give him props.
He didn't appreciate me being quippy back.
Yeah. So he's trying to do his Deadpool bit, and he's talking, and he took a picture with me, right? Now
and by the way, I'm so beyond Deadpool. So I'm just
you despise the whole thing. I respect the costume.
Sure.
A guy that does the Renaissance outfit version of it.
But he made a big deal about his name. This is crucial to the story. Made such a big deal about his name or something about like not saying what his name was or something like that because you were calling him like Captain Deadpool, and he's like, "Oh, it's not my name. You know, I can't say my name in the Fae or whatever." Right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I missed that, but
Which is why what
this
you
lady
said was so
walks up.
funny.
This lady walks up. She's like, "Travis, Travis, can you help me?" And I was like, "Travis." And then I just did the Family Guy bit.
And
Your
then
name's Travis.
Yeah, and he completely like is trying to ignore Caleb.
Yeah. I was like, "Hey, you're a phony. Hey, everyone, he's a phony." And he just like, I've never seen a guy leave my presence so fast.
It was almost like he literally called out Stolen Valor.
Yeah.
Like it was
Yeah.
exactly like those videos.
Yeah. That's the perfect
It
way
got
to put
so
it.
awkward.
Yes.
And then like I thought, oh my gosh, we had to walk away. And then you spot the second Deadpool, and you're like, wait a minute, well, who's that then? What's happening?
Our buddy Michael was just crying because it was so funny, and I was so proud of that. That was my favorite joke that I did.
That was so good.
Yeah,
no, that was awesome.
Now I know we're about to get to the last one, but the previous time I went with Matt, we did another sword fight similar to what you and I had. Spoilers.
Similar, huh? Yeah.
Except we were on a thing that you had to balance on. So it's like a log that you're like having to like move back and forth, move your feet, and stay balanced on. Which I totally won. I was so happy about that. Yeah. So anyway, the end story.
Yeah.
And I think we left shortly after this. We kind of all got drinks, and then we're kind of done.
Yeah.
So we go to the safer sword section. Now, what were those made of? It's on a stick, and it's like a big foam sword that's kind of wrapped.
One of those. Yeah, it's
in the design.
tightly wrapped foam, so it like it hits. You know, like it's like
Yeah.
it hurts a little bit. You know, like if you really swing it, it's not gonna be like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It's normally gonna be like, I got to rub that part of my body.
Yeah.
You know.
And you know what? I was nice not to use my baton swinging hand. I was like, let me go left-handed on this one.
Don't you freaking dare!
I got some good. What?
Don't you freaking dare!
I did.
Oh man, I'm gonna get to what you did wrong.
Check the video.
I checked. I watched it like 3 times.
What hand was
dude.
I using?
Doesn't matter. Don't freaking act like, oh man, I went easy on you. I'm going to tell you what you did wrong, but we'll get there.
I
So
agree.
we show up.
I'm not bragging about this part.
By the way, I told people about this story, and they're like, "Well, how did it hurt with all the protective gear?" I'm like, "There was no protective gear.
Oh God, what are you?
There was no.
Have y'all been to the
gear.
fair?
It was raw, dude.
Oh yeah.
And we just grabbed the swords. I'm like, heck yeah, let's do it. It was free. Let's go. You know, that's awesome. And then the guy said the only 2 rules is you can't two-hand, which is lame. Really lame, actually.
Yeah,
and then,
super lame.
Yeah, how am I going to get hurt that way?
Right.
And then he said, you can't do headshots.
Right.
And all clever me, I was like, no headshots? And which head? And he's like, no headshots. I was like, sweet.
Yep. He's like, but no, he goes, you know what I mean? And I was like, do I though?
I don't know if we still know what he means.
Yeah.
So we go at it, and then he's like, and I don't know how hard to hit you because I'm like, I've never really done this before.
For sure.
So I start like, tapping, and he's like, don't hit like a girl or something.
Yeah,
I was like, the ref was saying that. I was like, all right, fine, bet. I start like really trying.
Yeah.
I start hitting you harder. I hit you in the gut a couple times.
And it's on camera. He tried to go for my feet, and I was like, ha, ha. I was like, it was good dodges.
But then like after rewatching the footage multiple times, I realized, well, Caleb's aiming for something.
No.
He starts aiming. Yes.
I was going for your legs.
My legs, he says.
That's what I was aiming for.
He starts aiming a little lower.
My aim wasn't good.
I wasn't letting him get there. And then like he was so persistent with it that what happens when you aim for the legs too many times, Caleb?
Well, if you play the odds, if you bet on black, they turn blue.
Yeah. Okay, here's the problem. I played by the rules. He didn't.
No.
We don't know what he meant, remember?
The rules were unclear.
I could have smacked you in the head so hard, but I chose not to.
Yeah,
and you played dirty.
I didn't mean to. My aim,
with my left hand, my non-swinging hand.
My aim was untrue, and I accidentally racked him in the nuts.
Yeah, and honestly, it wasn't like a tap. No, he hit me so hard, I immediately went deaf.
Yeah. He went down to the ground.
I fell. Yeah. And then the ref's like, get up. I'm like, I'm dead.
And then he goes, finish him. I was like, I felt bad. Because when you were on the ground at first, I was like, I felt bad enough when you're like, oh, and you fall down. But then you didn't get back up for a while. I was like, oh, no, actually. And then he said, finish him. I was like, I'm so sorry.
Well, I have to. Rule of Mortal Kombat.
Yeah. No, I got to do the
and
finish
then,
move.
Yeah, no, I'm in so much pain. I'm trying to be a man about it, but it's so hard.
You really can't, though.
It's so hard.
It's not your fault. It's mine.
Caleb's got a giant smile on his face, like tap tap.
Yeah,
and then like
the
I get up and I'm like, oh my god, I'm about to throw up. You know, I'm like, I'm about to pass out, I'm about to throw up, and I'm just like, I can't hear anyone, so I'm just like, I want to die. It's just like, finish me.
And of course, I was like,
and the ref's like getting off on me or something. He's like, haha, yes, I love turning one brother against brother.
Who's next? And I was like, it's all right. You can't have kids anyway. And of course, that's when your hearing kicked back in.
And I just, I was just
wonderful.
like, Caleb is I know how Anakin turned to the dark side. This is how it happens. I'm going to kill him.
No, my bad. I'm sorry. And I bought you a beverage after. I did feel bad. I did not mean to actually do that.
No,
so.
It was, and here's the thing. I had a lot of fun still. It didn't piss me off and ruin my day.
It would have, though, I bet if my attitude was like,
if you were like,
walk it off.
If you were being, a diva about it, I definitely wouldn't have been. But I was like, no,
sure.
Caleb's not that kind of person.
I got a good read on what kind of makes you tick. So I was like, okay, I'll buy him something after. He'll probably... It's still like the odds are like could go either way, but I was like,
Well, I thought about like how angry would Caleb have been if I hit him, and I don't feel like it would have been as angry. So I'm like, nah, he's chill.
Right. Yeah.
It wasn't like he was trying to.
I was not trying. But
we'll release the undocumented footage soon.
I didn't dress up that time either, and it was a great time. I had so much fun. I've not had that much fun at Renaissance since we were kids. Yeah. So I really enjoyed it. We didn't even sit in on any shows really. We watched the guy that swallowed swords.
Yeah.
But we missed everything else. There's like there's a really good comedy duo, Don Juan and Miguel. They're hilarious.
Dude, we were the comedy team that
For real.
day.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, if we got to interact more, like we made the chess lady. We found these really cool chess boards.
Oh, yeah.
We were killing her.
Great story.
Yeah. I think any of us could ask for a number and she would have said yes to all of us. Honestly, like we all had her on the floor laughing.
Honestly, dude.
So yeah.
It was fun. And like, I don't remember spending a whole lot of money. I bought a couple swords, but like usually I'm used to like having to spend money for entertainment, but it was really fun.
No, it was great. I didn't even eat. I didn't even get any food, and I had a blast. That's the most fun I've had.
I don't think I did. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I got a pretzel, but my victory pretzel.
But you weren't gonna get it had you not.
No, exactly.
Made amends with the pretzel people. So
there's an alliance once.
It was just a damn good time. No. I'm glad we went. We should do it again next time. Like make sure it's all four of us or more.
That's supposed to be going again actually this year, but
okay. Is that going through or no?
I think so. I don't know if I want to. Like I'm like I want to ride the high.
Yeah. You'll have a way lesser time.
The people I'm going with, I'm probably not going to have. They're fun people, but it's not going to be that fun.
Okay, but what if one of them says, "Let's have a safer sword fight"? Are you gonna do it?
They already asked, and I sent a crying gif, and they're like, "Never mind."
Yeah, well, I was gonna say like that was a one. I have bad luck. I usually swing and miss in life, and so it translates to my sword fighting skills. Like, hey, don't hit here. All right, I won't. Oh,
I'm telling you, multiple people have said, "Shaps, you have great form. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't have happened this way."
Yeah,
unless it was a black knight,
and I fought
decided to fight.
Like I'm telling you, but I don't know. It's not like I thought I was gonna be great. I just thought, maybe I won't hit as hard with the left hand, and turns out I still hit quite hard enough.
Yeah.
So, well, I got a meeting I got to get to, so we're gonna cut it off just a little bit earlier than normal. But I think we're back. I think we got it worked out where we'll be back on kind of schedule.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a little bit iffy, like if you're out next Monday, then we're kind of out. I do have a video posting later today. I just need a thumbnail from whoever, either Shaps or my wife, but whoever just can help me out sooner. That's what we're gonna do. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us. Hope you all had an entertaining time. I didn't even get to talk about Hot Coin. I want to bring that up
again.
Yeah. Okay. Real quick. She hasn't posted an episode in 2 weeks. Like legit. Okay. She quit, and she doesn't work for Jake Paul's company anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know what she's doing. Maybe she took a break, but maybe she's like finally given up. And her views are so much lower than they were before.
I mean, yeah. Take your money and run, I guess.
With that, we're gonna end on a high note because that was the best news I got last week. I was like, "Is it? Maybe it's late,
finally."
But I think maybe she's given up, and I'm so here for it. The failure.
As soon as we turn on our phones, Hot Coin 2 is back.
Oh, I looked. I made sure. I was like, "Am I still right?" And as of an hour ago, it was correct information. So,
all right then.
All right, guys. We'll see y'all next time. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Bye.